The OX weatherization system consists of 4x8 panels of structural insulated sheathing, OX SeamTape, and OX butyl flashing tape. The use and prescribed installation of all three products as shown in this video is required to receive OX's 30-year water-resistive and air barrier warranty. OX panels install with the gray printed side facing the exterior. To maximize coverage, install the panels in horizontal or vertical orientation as required. All panel edges must be backed up by and fastened to framing. Add blocking as required. Cut panels with a standard circular saw using a fine-tooth blade. For areas that do not require structural bracing, you may substitute OX panels with non-structural OX ISO Red CI polyiso foam sheathing panels. Be certain that foam edges are touching. At corners, install panels in overlapping butt joint fashion. Through-fasten panels into framing members both around the perimeter of the panel and within the field of the panel. Fasteners should be spaced every 3 inches and penetrate framing a minimum of 1 inch. Panel facers feature fastening location markings for convenience. For wood framing, use 7 16-inch to 1-inch crown 16-gauge staples or nails with a minimum 0.113-inch diameter and a 3/8-inch head. For metal framing, use number 8, 18x1 and 1/4-inch Phillips modified truss head self-drilling screws. Countersinking fasteners into the foam layer is acceptable. With the OX weatherization system, building wrap is not required to meet WRB requirements, so long as all joints are taped accordingly. Tape should only be applied to clean and dry panel surfaces. Center OX SeamTape over the panel joints. Apply sufficient pressure to the tape to ensure a secure bond, and smooth out any wrinkles to ensure proper adhesion. Use a shingle fashion taping technique. For vertical to vertical and horizontal to horizontal taping, overlap tape a minimum of 3 inches. At T-joints, the tape pieces should overlap a minimum of 1 inch. Because the OX panel's polyiso thermoset foam core creates a self-sealing effect around fasteners, you do not have to cover penetrations with seam or flashing tape. Use 4-inch OX butyl flashing tape at all inside and outside corners. Ensure at least 1-inch coverage on both sides of the corner. Again, be sure to apply sufficient pressure to the tape to ensure a secure bond, and smooth out any wrinkles to ensure proper adhesion. Strapping may be installed directly over 1/2-inch and 1-inch thick OX panels and through-fastened into structural framing. Visit the OX website and refer to the tables provided for reduction factors that account for uplift. For 1.7-inch thick OX panels, use a utility knife to cut 3-inch troughs into the OX structural sheathing, where the strapping will be located. Only remove the panel-facing material and foam insulation to reveal the panel's structural substrate. Be sure to not cut through the structural layer. Place and fasten panels into position. Then install straps through the panel's structural substrate into the structural framing. Fill the trough with spray foam insulation. Allow the foam to cure and then trim the foam flush with the surface of the panel. Apply OX butyl flashing tape to fully cover the spray foam. Apply sufficient pressure to the flashing tape to ensure a secure bond and smooth out any wrinkles to ensure proper adhesion. Install 6-inch OX butyl flashing tape on a clean and dry sill. Always apply sufficient pressure to flashing tape to ensure a secure bond and smooth out any wrinkles to ensure proper adhesion. OX butyl flashing tape should also be applied to jamb flanges, overlapping sill flashing. Jamb flashing should extend upward from the sill a minimum of 4 inches. Apply sealant around the inside face of the window mounting flange. To permit drainage, gap the sealant at the bottom flange. Install and level window per the manufacturer's instructions. Apply OX butyl flashing tape to each window jamb flange, overlapping the sill flashing. Next, Apply OX flashing tape to the head flange, overlapping the jamb flashing. Then tape the top of the OX flashing tape with OX SeamTape. Never tape the bottom flange of a window. Finally, from the interior, apply low-pressure polyurethane foam between the rough opening and the window frame. Install 6-inch OX flashing tape on clean and dry door jambs. Always apply sufficient pressure to flashing tape to ensure a secure bond, and smooth out any wrinkles to ensure proper adhesion. Install OX flashing tape at the head above the door, overlapping the jamb flashing. Apply 3 separate beads of sealant in the threshold, extending a minimum of 6 inches up the jambs. Install the door into the opening in accordance with the manufacturer's installation instructions. Then, apply a bead of sealant at the molding tape intersection. Apply sealant on the back of metal cap flashing and install the metal cap flashing at the head, above the brick molding using fasteners. Install OX flashing tape over and above the vertical leg of the metal cap flashing. Extend this flashing at least 1 inch beyond the jamb flashing. Then, apply OX SeamTape over this flashing. Ensure that the panel surface is clean and dry. Then install 6-inch OX flashing tape on the lower half of the opening, covering the panel interior. Apply a continuous bead of sealant on top of the flexible flashing tape. Place the vent into the opening and install OX flashing tape on both sides and top of the vent. Then, tape the top of the OX flashing with OX SeamTape. All vents and penetration should be properly blocked per manufacturer recommendations. With OX weatherization system installed, proceed with the installation of cladding according to manufacturer recommendations.